Hello, I'm Beth or Yogi Beth C. Welcome to the next installment of my daily special series. So this lunchtime series is short, all-standing videos that can be done at work, in regular clothes. Of course, you can do them at any time, and I've designed them to be used with no props, no extra things that you need around. I do have a chair here today. The chair is going to be optional for a few of the poses. You don't need to use it. If you'd like to try one, have a sturdy chair nearby. All right, so we're going to start off face U, and we're actually going to start with a really simple warm-up move. It's going to start simple with a march. So whatever leg you want to start on, simply start marching. And the idea of this is to help our body start moving and also start balancing. And I do recommend that you have bare feet, so if you had shoes on or socks on, kick them off. Start to feel the contact with your feet and the ground. Notice you can see the shift of my body back and forth as I balance from one side to the other. It doesn't matter how high your knee goes. Every time we lift the knee, we're asking our body to have our balance reflexes kick in. So you can go much slower than I am and give yourself a chance to balance a little bit more. Or you can pick it up and bring some energy into it. Try to find a steady pace where you can at least momentarily balance on each foot. And then I'll add an optional element here. So what we'll do is as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in, out, out. And as we go in, we're going to reach toward the inside of our foot, toward the insole. Now you don't have to touch. And as we breathe out, we'll reach toward the outside. All right, I'm going to do one more this way, and then we'll add the breathing in. So it's in, out, out, in, out, out. Now I'm not really bending over to do this, a little bit of a hinge, but I'm trying to get my knee up higher as I reach with my arm. And that's why you don't need to touch. We're not trying to scrunch up the body here. I'm just bringing a little coordination. So I could do a little bit more of an ab crunch that way, but it's not necessary. A few more rounds, and if you'd like, again, you can pick up the pace. In, out, out, in, out, out. It's a little harder to talk while doing it. You might already start feeling a little bit of a burst of energy as you're doing this. And then let's do one more full round. So one more round of breathe in, and then out, out. As you come to stillness, stand solidly on both feet. We call this mountain pose in yoga. It's really our solid standing tall like a mountain. Then take your feet a little bit wider apart from your hips. Or do some pelvic rocks. So getting some movement into your hips, into your whole pelvic girdle. Hands on hips, and as you breathe in, or as you breathe out, as long as you're moving with your breath, you're going to tuck your tail, roll your pelvis under. Your rib cage and your waistline will come a little closer together as you do this. And then you'll go the reverse. You'll take your tailbone, stick your butt back, and hinge a little bit from the hip crease. So I'll show you that from the side. So you'll tuck the tail, bringing the butt as if you're kind of wrapping it underneath, wrapping the tailbone under you, and then turning out behind. And continue this movement. We're really localizing it mostly in the low back area, the low spine. This can potentially feel really nice if you've spent a lot of time sitting already today. And again, if you can coordinate with this with breath, that always adds an element. You can decide which direction you want to breathe in, which you want to exhale. So you might try inhaling as you stick your bottom back, exhaling as you scoop it underneath. Your hands can stay at your hips, or they can even take a little movement as you do this. I'm going to keep it very simple. And a few more times. Maybe as you do it a few more times, you feel a little bit bigger movement, or maybe as you get tired, you start to make that movement a little smaller. Either is fine. And let's do one more tipped under, one more back. Stand up, come back to the stable mountain. That's a chance to check in, pause, see how your body is doing before we move on to the next thing. The next thing is one of my favorite poses. It's called gate pose. It's usually done kneeling. In this all standing practice, we're going to do a standing variation of gate pose. There's the option to use your chair on this one if you'd like. So I'm going to take one leg, I'm mirroring you, so it will be your left leg, and take that out straight so that it's sort of really right up close to the chair. I'm going to move the other leg out a little wider too, just wide enough so that when I bend my knee, it's going to stay relatively over my foot. So my feet are definitely wider than hip width apart. You want to find some distance where your feet are a little wider than hips width, space between your leg, and then bend your right knee. Get stable here. Every time we move ourselves asymmetrically, it's a balance challenge. Breathe in and feel length along your side bodies, along your ribs. That's the part we're going to stretch on this pose. Now take your left hand and it can either rest on the top of your chair or on your leg. On your next breath in, reach up with your right arm, and then on an exhale, just slide with your hand on the top of the chair or slide your hand down the leg. We're stretching this side of the body. Let's hold here for a breath. And then as you exhale, press into both feet, lift back up, keep this knee bent. We'll do that one more time to the same side. So as you're ready, take a breath in, press down into both feet as you sweep your arm up and then over to the side. So we get length upward and then over. Breathe in here. And on your next exhale, push into both feet so that you can push your body upright. This time, push into both legs so that it comes straight. And I'm just going to rock. If you're using the chair, you can actually turn around and not face me, or you can shift the chair to the other side. I'm going to keep my feet the same place and just shift so that my knee comes over my foot on this side. Actually step away a little bit so I don't bump into the chair. So knee somewhere over the foot. Want the knee to be comfortable, never any strain in your knee. This leg is extended. I have my toes pointed toward you. You can point them away if that feels more comfortable. Remember that the right hand is going to rest on your extended leg or on a chair or a desk, whatever you have nearby works. As we breathe in, we breathe up long with the left arm, tall on this side of the body, but also on this side, length on both sides. Exhale, reach over the extended leg. Breathe here. Next breath in, push into both feet. Inhale up tall. Exhale, release. Keep that leg bent if you can. It's a little more work on that bent leg. You can stand up to stretch if you need to in between. And we'll do that one more time. Press down into both feet. Inhale, reach your arm up. I simply move my arm forward so it wouldn't hit the chair. And then exhale over your legs. Sometimes we have to adjust for the props we have nearby. If you have a desk or a constrained space, you'll have to adjust, and that's completely fine. You're moving, you're breathing. That's the point of this practice. One more breath here. And then on your next breath, you can press into both feet. Allow your arm come down, allow your legs to come straight. And you can do that little heel toe wiggle to bring your feet back in close together. So for this next series, it's a little twist series, and I'm going to face the chair. Now you can use a chair, you can use your desk. If you don't want to use a chair or don't have a chair on the desk, your hands can simply rest on the top of your thighs. So I'm just going to use my hands on the top of the chair for a little bit more stability as I hinge forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a hinge forward, and a hinge means right from the place where the top of your leg meets your pelvic girdle. Not from my waist, but from my hips. So there's a little bend there, and you can stick your butt back again to get that bend. Soften both knees and hinge forward, maybe about 45 degrees, maybe come a little further. I'm going to say 45 degrees. So it can depend on the height of your prop as well. And remember, hands can always stay right here on your thigh. So then we'll take the leg that's away from me. You'll keep that leg bent. The leg that's closer to me, straighten it a little bit, still keeping both hips moving behind you. So your hips aren't turning to me. Your hips, your pelvis, your tail is pointing behind you. You're still facing toward your chair. And then bring your same hand toward me, same hand as straight leg, fingers near the ears. On an inhale, we're going to open up into an open twist. And on an exhale, your elbow is going to dip back toward the opposite hand or arm. Inhale, open up. Exhale, dip in. Keep moving with your breath in whatever range of motion you go in. So your openness might not be as much looking toward me as mine is. We'll do a couple more. So when you open, you might be more here, your elbow more parallel to the ground. Breathe into this last one, wherever that reach is, opening up. And then exhale and come back down. Bend both knees, push into your feet to stand up, and we'll do the other side. I'm going to turn around. I'm not going to take my chair again, so I can show you how to do it without the chair. You are welcome, again, to turn away from me or to bring your chair to the other side. So the feet are about hip width apart or so. We start with that little hinge. I like to put my fingertips there, reminding me to get my butt back, to hinge, and I'm coming down to about that 45-degree angle. Can be more or less. This is not a geometry lesson, just feeling in your body what feels right for today. So once you get there, take the leg that's closer to me straighter. It doesn't have to come all the way straight, but more bend in the knee that's further away. Both hips are sent back. Take the hand closer to me, same hand as straight leg, in the area of your ear. And then on your next breath in, take that twist from your belly button through the spine and the rib cage, revolving all the way up to the turn of your head. Now, you do not have to turn your neck. And then exhale and release the elbow back down. Inhale and open any amount that works for you. And exhale and release back down. Inhale, open. Exhale, scoop the elbow under toward the opposite arm or toward your chair. Inhale, open, feeling more width and energy across your chest. Exhale, release. Two more. Inhale, open up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, moving, revolving around the spine. Exhale, release. Bend both knees, hands down. Slide yourself up to standing. All right, one last pose. This is a variation of what we did before with the pelvic rocks. This time we are going to take our whole spine into it. So you're going to form a C shape with your entire back and then come forward. This is a forward bend, back bend. It's really helpful to move the spine, especially again when we've been seated quite a bit. I'm going to do it with the chair for support for my arms. Again, that is completely an option, and I'll show you after I do a few with the chair just how you can open and close your arms instead. So let's take a little bit of looseness into our knees again, a little bit of a hinge as you come forward and reach for the chair. So right now my back is fairly flat. It's not arched, it's not rounded. From there, I'm going to start to tuck my tail. I'm also going to tuck my chin toward the chest, pull my shoulders blades apart. I'm using the chair to help a little bit as I get as much roundness as I can into my back. And then I'm going to tuck or point my tail in the opposite direction, just like we did before. But this time I'm going to lift more into the chest, lift a little bit into the chin, draw my shoulder blades together on the back, and maybe even push away a little bit on my chair. And that's the arch back or the back bend. And then back forward, rounding, arching into a back bend. And I'll release my arms and we'll talk about how to do this with breath. So as you breathe in, reach your arms forward, wrap your whole back. And as you exhale, if you're using the arms, pull your elbows, your arms back, chest shines forward. A few more times like this, moving with the breath. Moving the body with breath is one of the best ways to increase your energy, increase your focus, be more mindful. And it really gives you a chance to connect what your body is doing as a whole. I'll do one more with the chair, breathing in. And your breath might be opposite of that as long as you're moving and breathing. Exhaling. Soft bend in your knees. Come back up to standing. So that's it for this installment of your daily special. I have a whole series of these. If you like them, please also comment below if there's something you want to see in one of these workouts. I do customize workouts to what you tell me. Like and subscribe my channel if this is helpful to you. I hope to see you again. Thank you so much for joining me for today.